Welcome to the Aliyah Return Center, God's hub of activity along the Jordan River near the Sea of Galilee, a place of discipleship, a place of pioneering, and a place of effectuating, fulfilling the prophetic word as it relates to Aliyah, the return of the Jewish people home. Do you know in the last decade, 255,000 Jewish people returned home from over 150 countries? They all need to learn Hebrew. They all need to be housed. They need to be attached, acculturated, and really absorbed to this, their promised land. And I know firsthand that is not an easy task. And here in Beit Zerah, which means the house of the seed, one of the first kibbutzes ever in the land of Israel, we've established the Aliyah family house for the neediest of the needy of immigrants, the widows and the widowers. Come on in. We here want to emulate the pioneers who came before us. They lived down by the Jordan River and they lived in mud houses. But what happened is, about 100 years ago, an earthquake destroyed their mud houses. They decided not to give up, and they decided to fulfill the vision of the Torah. As you can see, the building behind me is an example of how the buildings were when we arrived here. Desolate. We were able to transform them, and we believe the same for this one, to be transformed to house even more immigrants. Volunteers, interns, come and stay here in the International Building and serve the restoration of Israel. Come on in. It's almost Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom.
And nestled right in the heart of everything that's going on, all of this action, is the membership suite, where returned members come from all over the world who are sponsoring these immigrants, partnering with God's prophetic word, and overlooking the Jordan River, are able to enjoy time here in the prayer room. Even though this vertical Galilee house of prayer is still under construction, we are seeing it quickly reach completion. Let's go into the sanctuary. A place to minister to God. I think of the alabaster box being poured out, wasting ourselves to minister to Him in the Galilee that He loves so much. The stage is just now completed its renovations overlooking the Jordan River, and it's so wonderful to welcome groups from all over the world to praise the God of Israel and minister to the locals right here. Some of the immigrants, when they arrive, they show up with nothing. And here they're able to receive clothes and goods to be able to start their new life here in the land. Give a man a fish and he will eat for a day. Teach a new immigrant about agriculture. That's what makes Israel a regional water superpower. Here they can learn aquaponics, hydroponics, aeroponics, all the things that made Israel bloom and blossom, fulfilling the prophecy in Isaiah 35 verse 1. And right here, they're able to be housed as they learn a trade. This is why we were in the front page of the Jerusalem Post Metro Edition. Training for the army. Both Arabic speakers and Hebrew speakers together have a place to train here. Push-ups, pull-ups. This building was transformed and the Minister of Defense showed up here and he said, I didn't realize that Christians actually cared. And we said, no, there are those from around the world who have donated to bring this building as a place to train for the army. Prophet Jeremiah, chapter 32, verse 41, he says, I will plant them in the land with all of my heart and all of my soul. That's what these abandoned buildings have been transformed into, a place to give the new immigrants roots. And now this is filled with students who have made their Aliyah. This is filled with families.
My name is Svetlana and I came from Russia, from Moscow. I like this place very much. And the room is very comfortable and I like people who live here. They're very kind, and if I need something in my apartments, if I need something here, that always helps. It's very good, I think, for the start. They're just people who are very kind to you and help you to arrange in a new country, new people, new culture. Yeah, I think it's a very nice place here.
Just a smiling face and a welcome is worth so much to a new immigrant as they come here and stay here. But also, when you make an Aliyah to the land of Israel and your family has not come yet, you're on your own. You're called a lone soldier. And that can be lonely sometimes. The Lone Soldier Building, renovated by lovers of Israel from around the world. When we look at each of these nations, right now, 53 nations who have said, we commit to stand with you in prayer. We commit to sow laborers into the harvest and even sow financial seed. If you feel a stirring of God's Spirit where He's rallying the remnant to be part of His prophetic plan and you want to participate, go to Aliyah Return Center right now and be part of what God is doing as He restores His land and sends forth ripples of blessing around the world to your nation.